Welcome to the Leadership and Transformation Introductory Session. My name is Daniel Hailu, a social protection specialist from Ethiopia. In this module, we will look at leadership and transformation for the delivery of non-contributory social protection schemes. Social protection systems are human systems whereby change is mediated by people, social relations, and individual behaviors. Transformation requires social protection experts that learn not only through technical training, but in their practice and find actual solutions to emergent and new problems. Leadership for change involves not voluntary, heroic attitudes by single individuals, but the creation of space for initiative and joint activity by different professionals in and outside organizations through distributed leadership and working with teams to ensure cohesion and robustness of organizations. Dynamic, adaptable systems and institutions are able to meet social expectations and needs, which in turn provide their legitimacy and sustainability. To start talking about leadership and transformation for social protection schemes, let's first introduce social protection schemes as human systems. Social protection systems are primarily human systems. This means that people are at the center of the systems, both as providers and end users of the services they deliver. Unfortunately, in practice, the mechanistic conception of social protection is predominant in the real world. The mechanistic conception regards social protection schemes as if they were machines that can be tinkered with by operators or engineers. Consequently, it gives prominence to technological solutions in setting up or fixing social protection systems. Examples of technological solutions include biometric identification systems, integrated registry, electronic payment systems, a web-based monitoring and evaluation system. The mechanistic approach doesn't recognize human and social dimensions of social protection systems, but assumes that once technological solutions are found, they will then shape or influence human and social dimensions of the system. Accordingly, in the mechanistic approach, supporting social protection systems often involves setting up or fixing one or another element of the system. The system gets defined by what may be called a reverse engineering, a situation in which the system is made to adapt to particular tools that may be introduced into the system. However, sometimes this has not worked. Once the consultant or technocrat who constructed the tools leave, the workers fail to use them. There are many examples of unimplemented M&E systems and databases that sat idle with nobody using them. So, when support is given primarily to mechanical and technological aspects of social protection systems, the centrality of human connections, actions, and behaviors in specific human contexts and circumstances are overlooked and missed. For example, it was found that during the Ebola crisis, there was high level of awareness to medical protocols and low adherence to them. Clinics were staffed and equipped, but users kept avoiding them. Implementation was blocked by insufficient consideration to the centrality of traditional healers and how information was channeled to communities. Consequently, people avoided health centers because of the belief that disease was spreading from the centers themselves. Also, the complexity of implementing NNE and NMIS systems is underplayed. In contrast, in human-centered approach to building social protection systems, sufficient consideration is given to different forms of resistance by leadership or staff that provide social protection services, as well as the public and end users. For example, resistance by leadership and staff involved in provision of social protection systems could take different forms. Therefore, at the heart of people-centered approach is tactful dialogue, app management, and people's skills in supporting social protection systems. Setting up and refining mechanical tools are regarded as secondary to political management. influencing to create policy space and conditions to enable organizations or systems to maintain or increase effectiveness. This implies putting stress on the importance of building coalitions, research and policy communities, which are key to changing perceptions, beliefs, and cultural issues. For example, the expansion of coverage of the Child Grant Program in South Africa from 0 to 5 years to 18 years was the result of conjoint activity of political leaders, activists, and researchers. Moreover, to fundamentally transform social protection systems, social protection professionals need to be provided with an environment in which they can learn their craft in practice. They need to be provided with the support they need to frame and solve related problems they identify in their own context. They should have the confidence to reject problems that look like the absence of predetermined solutions and practices from outside without questioning them. To be able to practice and innovate, professionals need to seek and obtain the authority to try and search for solutions to problems they identify in their own context. They need to be given the time, the space, the trust to implement their own solutions and learn from their actions. In short, they should be provided with an environment in which they can engage in a continuous process of consultation, action, reflection, in identifying locally relevant problems and searching for innovative solutions to more complex problems. From this perspective of people-centered approach to social protection systems, constraints to effective systems do not only stem from absence of technical skills and individual knowledge, but also from the organizational and management weaknesses. Hence, capacity needs to be built at not only individual but also organizational levels. Leaders should respect formal work processes and involve senior and middle management as well as field workers in joint decisions and implementation. Finally, organizations should explain, educate, and be open and transparent to their clients and the public in general about what they do, since the way they create and respond to public expectations and needs determines their legitimacy and sustainability over time. After this quick introduction to the leadership and transformation part, explore further the approaches and tools in the literature and do the related activities. At the end, you will gain even more insights from your own experiences to the main points summarized below. People are at the center and at the end of social protection delivery services, and therefore solutions need to be developed with them in mind. Efforts of resistance to change needs to be considered and acted upon in building social protection systems. To really transform social protection systems, social protection professionals need to learn their craft in practice and overcome practical and real problems. They need to develop the ability but also contribute to the creation of the necessary authority for real change to happen. The institutions need to be strengthened through conjoint activity of all staff members. Resonance with public expectations and acceptability of reforms and change is key to building sustainable social protection systems. I hope you enjoyed this introduction. Thank you for your attention, and let's move on to the other activities of this session.